And yeah, it's 11:30, 12:30, and it depends where you are, basically. But we are here
It's coffee time, though.
It's coffee time, exactly, or any other liquid if you prefer something else, as I've tweeted. And welcome in another umbraCoffee episode. We are joined right now by Matthew from Leeds.
Hi,
Matthew,
yes,
you're based in Leeds directly, or somewhere new?
Based in Leeds, working for Enjoy Digital.
Awesome.
Been here 6 years now, and I've really got into Umbraco this year.
Yeah, and you are hosting Leeds meetups in your company office, right?
Yes. Yeah. We've just started hosting them here now. Hopefully, going to start doing that going forwards. So yeah, and
I'm coming up. Yeah, coming up in a few weeks, the 6th of September.
Yeah. And Matthew, you've become very active, as you've said in the last year. And just before going live, you've tried to sum it up what you've accomplished during this year. Speaking about plans for the next year, can you maybe show it and describe it for our viewers?
So this year I had my first document pull request, which was adding a link to a page, nice and simple. Yeah. I've been to Code Garden. I've got into Code Cabin for later this year. I've started doing meetups. I've done talks at that meetup as well now. So yeah, it's all been go. I have a pull request pending for core, and then I will have completed all of that. And then next year, I'm going to try and talk somewhere other than Umbraco Leeds.
Awesome.
That sounds like a great plan.
Being on here, how did I miss that?
Yeah, that sounds like a great plan, and I think that's it's really great to see. We've met on during Code Garden, right?
We did, yes.
Yeah, so it's really great to see that the buzz is still going, and that's it motivated more people to do more. And speaking about doing more, sorry, I lost my voice.
Maybe I'll pick up then. So
no, I'm back.
So doing more. I think you're going to mention this unicorner thing,
yes,
right?
Yes, exactly.
So the unicorner, for those that don't know, it kind of used to be a series that Niels did occasionally, where he spoke with someone in HQ or about Umbraco issues generally, and he had this weird unicorn hat with these gloves as well. It's kind of interesting. But the unicorner is coming back, and it's going to be a weekly series, just like umbraCoffee, but not competing. And Niels has been very clear about that. So the idea is every Monday, there's going to be a video for 15 minutes, Niels sitting down with one of the members of HQ, discussing what they're doing, what they're working on. And there's a fantastic blog post that came out literally 10 minutes ago by Niels explaining why they're doing this, transparency, sharing the Umbraco love.
Yep, and we all agreed that it's something really great as a separated source of knowledge and information from the HQ, because we as a community members were always curious what's going on there, right?
Yeah, it'd be great to have a bit more insight and see what they're up to. And Niels always does fantastic videos and stuff, so it's always interesting to see what he gets up to in those kind of environments.
And we've been even talking about it during the retreat and Code Garden this year, that it's great to have a source of knowledge from the open source community, because there are plans, there are some things which are under development and maybe not so visible. So I believe that this will be exact source of information like that. And maybe speaking about retreat, we've received a picture which was taken during, finally, better later than never, as we've all said. But Emma decided to tweet it, and it brought a lot of memories from the retreat. I really like this picture. And some of people noticed that, Callum, you and I have the same pose.
Same power pose.
Yeah, and we've promised that we will do this. And we would like to stay to the episode like that, but we can't. I need to manipulate the windows. But yeah, it's a great picture. It's a great memory.
Yeah, I think all the result photos from someone not being there, we are all jealous of them. I'm pretty sure I can speak for everybody who's seen them. We all want to be there.
And for everyone who is counting down to Code Garden, there is a website. Is it Code Garden yet? Where is a great?
It's been updated, hasn't it? So it is counting.
Yeah, I don't know who is in charge of this website, but it doesn't work on mobile. The counter is not there, so please update it. I've checked it yesterday. Yeah, that's my input. What else did we have this week? Callum, you are starting the barbecue series this week, right?
Yeah,
today.
so I'm not in our I'm not in our London office today. I'm actually in Bristol right now because this evening, when the weather clears up a bit, it's been raining this morning. We are kicking off the first Umbraco barbecue of the year, which is going to be here. And then next week, I'm actually flying out to Denmark, and we're going to be doing a barbecue in Aarhus as well. Kindly sponsored by Display. So yeah, it's kind of a packed few weeks of barbecues coming up. You can go on umbracobarbecue.com, and there's other details there because we've got a London one coming up towards the end of the month, and also one in Manchester, which I believe you're going to come to, Matthew.
I'm indeed, yeah, and a couple of guys from Enjoy Digital coming.
Awesome.
So, yeah, there'll be a few of us.
Cool. So I think as well. Awesome. So over the next few weeks, I think we might be doing some umbraCoffees in some different locations where I'll be traveling around because of the barbecues. So yeah, maybe some exciting episodes coming.
Yeah, you can always grab your phone and give us some insights straight from the barbecue.
There's a hashtag. It's meet MEAT up.
Yep.
And you can just follow that, and you'll have all of the different updates from the event today. Should be really, really good.
Yeah, that's great. And as a transfer to other Umbraco news, we had a lot of information shared this week. We had a pull request Team Chronicles, and I was surprised by the number of pull requests merged. What about you guys?
Yeah,
86. 86. Yes, am I correct? 86 pull requests merged in July, and some of them are coming from the hackathons. For example, Adam did his first pull request. Yeah, there were some more first pull requests in this period, right, Callum?
Yeah, and Matthew, you mentioned that you've been working on yours as well.
Yeah, I have. Yeah, it's submitted. It's just waiting PR team to look at it.
Are there any? Do you want to share some details on exactly what you've been working on?
Yeah, so it's what I shared roughly at Code Garden. So it's adding a service worker to the back office to load all the Angular views on the initial load. So in theory, if you're on a train and you've got poor connection, that connection time is going to be reduced, and it will load faster for you.
Yeah, that is really, really awesome. So I'm yet to play properly with service workers, but that is a really exciting prospect.
Yeah.
And not only community is doing the pull requests, because we also seen that Umbraco HQ members, also those new ones and some old ones who, for example, were transferred from the SWAT team to documentation team, did their first pull requests, which are merged to Umbraco source code. And I've seen the Jasper, if I'm correct, and Elitsa did their. And we've decided, and maybe we can announce it correctly, that we'll be keeping a series of first pull requests, right, Callum? To highlight who did the first pull request this week. And if you will be the author of the first pull request in the upcoming week, let us know, share it, of course, brag about it, and be proud of it, because it's something awesome. And I think that everyone is motivated to do more after the first one.
It's really awesome to see here as well that this is in Alista's case, this is someone that's been working at HQ for only a week and has already made her first PR to the core. So it's just really, really cool to see. And like you said about Jesper on the coming from the SWAT to the documentation team, he's been on that team a week and he's done his first PR as well. So that's just really, really amazing to see.
Niels just wrote on the chat that Elisa is a D team member, but I was thinking about Jasper, who was, if I'm correct, transferred from the SWAT team to documentation team, and there were a first pull request to documentation. And Callum, your pull request to documentation was also merged this week.
Yeah, although it doesn't really count as documentation. So actually, mentioning another first pull request, which was Katie, my colleague, and she did a really, really lovely PR to the docs as part of our V8 hackathon. Then there was a merge conflict, which I stepped in and helped to resolve. But I found that there was a load of temp files created and whatever after that. So I added a git ignore file. There wasn't a git ignore in the repo. Simple addition. My first PR to the docs project, but I guess any contributions, something should help other people in the future contribute.
Yeah. Also CSS changes and stuff like that. I remember my pull request with change of the keyword in the form submit method, which was helping us to use URLs, for example, to share stuff. It's always something small at the beginning. It don't need to be a whole feature, or I don't know.
Yeah. Well, it's like my first document was adding a link to the, I think it was Umbraco forms. It wasn't clear that it all feeds off one page, and then everything else is like an adaptation of. And so just adding that link in would have really helped me at the time. So I just went and added it, and that was it. One A tag done.
Yeah.
But I think things like the V8 hackathon, which I had a look over yesterday actually, because I'm going to be at the next one hopefully. So that'll be hopefully some more pull requests there, and so I started looking over that, and yeah, things like that. You know, the community is there to help.
Yeah. Mentioning the V8 hackathons, actually, something that we're trying to do is get some more local teams set up. So if you're maybe in Manchester or Leeds, maybe you could have their own V8 hackathon, and we will kind of dial in. There is some idea discussed as well about a 24-hour hackathon, so we can incorporate people across all kinds of time zones, and we can maybe pass tasks along as well. But there'll be some more information, I think, published about that in the coming weeks, and we'd really, really love to see as many people get involved in that as possible. There's members of HQ around, there's active community members who can help you make that first pull request or help you out with a contribution you've been wanting to do for a while. So it's a really great place just to learn, but also to contribute.
And start contributing, basically. And also we've been having an idea about competition between teams at some point, and if we'll evolve this idea of having 24 hours hackathons and multiple teams, that's a great I don't know, maybe an opportunity to compete and do more, and maybe just prepare more for those occasions. But even without preparation, we will have a great results, I believe. And maybe as a transfer for another topic about jumping into the community, we also had a script release this week, the release number 40, in which our chief, Adam Shallcross, shared his story about starting an open source activity with Umbraco, which was, for me, for example, really inspirational, and I didn't know about some of those details earlier. And also Owen shared his journey with the first pull request. So we are still coming back to the topic of first pull request. And guys, did you read those articles?
Yeah, definitely. I think Owen's really good about how Umbraco's really helped versus other CMS with his mental health. We work with 2 CMSs, and I would say right now our dev team massively prefers Umbraco. We're all a lot happier doing Umbraco. And I think alongside that, Owen is with Owen. I know he tweets out, I think he's later this month, he's going to be in a train station in Edinburgh going, if you want to come talk to me about anything, I'm there. I think that's great. And, it'd be wonderful if we all would be a bit more open about these things. But I know Owen is particularly in that.
I believe that's for the mental health awareness week. Either this week or next week, I can't quite remember. But yeah, he's doing some great work in terms of, supporting people and addressing some of these issues that maybe we don't talk about that often. And it's great to see that someone can find happiness out of working with a piece of software, something that they enjoy.
Yeah, definitely.
And I think it's also a great opportunity during the events, because I remember Owen did exactly the same thing around Code Garden. And I think that even during those events, all of the festivals, all of the meetups, we can be there for anyone who wants to just chat about anything, right? And we will definitely need to do more about it and chat more. And I use festivals as an opportunity for that, because during working remotely, there are not so many opportunities to chat with people. So that's a great opportunity. And maybe speaking about festivals, let's just scan through what happened during this week, because yesterday I've released an update for the agenda for Polish festivals. So if you want to use Polish festivals as the opportunity to chat and discuss more about what happened in your life and maybe what can happen in the future, visit us and see, for example, Emma Garland, Runa Strand, my friend Konrad from Poland, and Ismail, and us, of course, doing umbraCoffee Live, Sebastian, and guys from Byte5, and more people. We've released the schedule, we've released some more details about what will be going on, and we'll be doing hackathon as well the day before. So there are a lot of opportunities to start doing something. And also during this week, we've noticed that the Germany festival for the next year opened the call for proposal forms. And if I'm correct, this is this tab. Yep. So they're calling for speakers, and we would lie if we would say that we are not tempted to submit a talk
we
idea.
were talking about this before we went live, weren't we? It looked like a really, really slick event, and more than anything, I'd just like to go to that event. I think, if
same.
not speak at it, it looks really, really cool.
Yeah, I've been sharing a lot of information about this festival just after my visit in Germany last year, and as an advertisement, I can only say that my wife wants to go to Frankfurt once again. So I don't know if for business purposes or for just a pleasure, I will try to be there. And yeah, we have a lot of long list of other stuff happening this week. Callum, you want to start, maybe?
Yeah, sure. Well, actually, kind of maybe going on from the festivals thing, just to mention the Dutch festival as well has call for speakers open, and I think it closes on Wednesday. So if you want to go and speak at that event, submit something by Wednesday. The other thing I was going to mention, which I promised Mike Macy I would do, is the Umbraco virtual meetup is coming back, and it's coming back on the 25th of August at 4 p.m. UK time. So, and they're looking for people to present something. So if you feel like you've just got something you want to show off for 5 minutes, quick show and tell, doesn't have to be polished. Just come along. It's a friendly space. You can share what you've been working on, chat about something you're passionate about. But they're looking for people. So get in touch with Mike via Twitter or the Slack or whatever you want. Matthew, did you join the meetup last time?
I missed the last one. I'm trying to be there this one. I have rewatched the previous one. It looked really interesting. Some great things shared by the Umco guys as usual, and others. I can't remember what else there was now, but yeah.
Lars did some stuff on dependency injection.
Yes, that always blows my mind when Lars talks about dependency injection. I'm not gonna lie. There's an issue on the tracker that's about dependency injection, and I just look at it confused.
I spent a long time reading through that, and it did give me a headache.
Yeah, I will learn it one day.
And next week, I will be working on some fancy custom property editor. So maybe if it will be finished till then, I will be more than happy to demo it, because hopefully it will be useful for more than myself. And yeah, what we wanted also to share are some new things released and shared this week. And if I will successfully open the tab here, and also in topic of custom property editors, today Mark Drake shared an idea of Codeblock property editor, which is filling up the code basically as a separated property editor for someone who is maybe more advanced than the standard editor in Umbraco back office. And it looks really cool and really advanced.
I can see this would be really useful as well. Maybe if you've got, I don't know, a blog and you want to embed a code snippet in a post or some content, then having a place where you can put code and it's kind of highlighted and the syntax looks nice in the back office is way better than just pasting blocks of text.
Yeah, and if you have editors who are familiar with HTML and they can build something maybe without using any editors or property editors for that, they can do that. And Umbraco was also mentioned as another source of another source for the project for European Council, and there's a newsroom, a TV newsroom with Umbraco, which looks really cool and really functional website. Yet another for European Union, and yeah, we will probably see more of them because we are still waiting for this headless implementation, right? Which Simone mentioned a couple of weeks back.
Mm-hmm.
What else we have? We have report issue functionality did by Jasper, which we've mentioned earlier, which was something new added to the Umbraco documentation, and it was already noticed by Jan, for example. So I don't know if it was a missing feature or a new feature. I can't remember not seeing it. So that's good that it's there and ready for being used by us.
Yeah, I think it's a great idea that you might not have time to fix the issue yourself, but at least you can give someone else in the community a chance to go. You could fix that. It's a great addition.
And from our long list of things, I think that it's almost everything which we wanted to cover. Callum,
yeah, I'm pretty sure that is. That was one thing I was going to mention, which there was a U News post that went out earlier in the week, and there was like the mailing list went out, and it was quite cool to see some of the stuff that's going on. There's a lot of meetups coming up. So I think there's an Oslo meetup happening at the end of August, and there's also Andrew Barter is doing a session on Umbraco Headless at the New York meetup, I believe, also in August, which is cool. I also noticed that I featured somewhere in that newsletter. So we did a rather embarrassing video about Umbraco Cloud back in April or something, and it's now up on Vimeo, and there's a link to it in the bottom of UNews. So if you spotted that, well done for being eagle-eyed.
But you're also going to put it in the description of this video.
Yeah, we may not do that.
I think it needs to be.
I will. I wasn't there, so I will share it. And I need to rewatch it because you've just remembered me this video. And also, we've missed one announcement, and I don't know if we missed it last week or was it released after umbraCoffee. But there is a new profile for August, and this is a Kevin Maylander. And if you want to read a story of Kevin, who is from States and doing some amazing Umbraco stuff as well, just visit umbraco.com and blog to see and learn more about the next new profile. And yeah, I also had some funny stuff opened because I was even surprised that where it is. Here, did you see this? The stage?
Yeah.
I don't know who inspires who or who inspired who, but it looks like NBC trophy, right? With some legacy and new colors applied for Umbraco. But yeah, Ravi mentioned that this is a Miami Hurricanes logo, and yeah, I've confirmed it. That's really a team in States who is playing football, and they are having this logo.
Now we know where HQ got the inspiration for their award from.
Yeah, and also I'm right now really jealous that Sebastian drank an Umbraco beer in Mikkeller bar.
I was getting distracted by the wall.
Although he did add the disclaimer below that he actually made the bartender add the CO on the end of the name, so it's sadly not called Umbraco. It's just called Umbra. But even still, I think maybe renaming that's a good idea.
Yeah, we can speak to our law department, right, and just force them to do that. And yeah, basically that's it. That's our list of things which happened this week. Any special plans for the weekend? Callum, I know that you will be doing barbecue.
Doing the barbecue, and there's the International Balloon Fiesta happening in Bristol as well. So hopefully we'll have our barbecue with a bit of sun and a load of hot air balloons going over the top of us, which should be really, really cool.
Very nice.
And then I'll be recovering for the rest of the week.
And what about you, Matthew?
We might look at some Umbraco, or we might just chill for the weekend. We'll see. No. Who knows? Nothing special though.
Sounds
and
like a good
I'm
plan.
going to Ed Sheeran concert, by the way.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah, that will be very, very nice. Last thing, and thank you very much for all of you being active on the chat. We noticed before going live that we are coming to the 200 subscribers here on YouTube.
It's crazy. We've not even been going a year, and we're already at nearly 200. 191, is it, Marcin?
Yeah, it's 191. So if you are not subscribing us, let's play like the YouTubers. Please click here or here or here or here and subscribe us, and just wait for another episode. We'll be here for you next week. Thank you very much, guys. Thank you, Matthew, for joining us.
Well, welcome. Thank you for having me.
Yeah. Have a great weekend all, and have a great rest of the day.
See ya.
Cheers.